7-0 that we had from XSET on this map during stage 1, it's out the window because now you're playing a Sage into the composition, but you're also playing potentially against a setup that you never played against, with EU now coming out as a fade as well. It seems as though EU is going to stay a permanent fade for this team for NRG since the inception of this agent.
I love it because I want to see how they work it, and it's going to show a lot of people what actually is possible with it, right? How to min-max, how to do different things already. Zekin just blast packing forward here to create a little distraction over towards B, but I really love the introduction of new agents because sometimes it revives other agents into a composition because one and the other work really, really well together. Like we were just talking about a Fade Neon comp and how you can throw things over the wall. But
changing the pace right away as Tex gets the first blood no matter what onto death. Just because they heard so much utility on this B side for XSET, they said, let's hurry up, let's get into this A site. But now they lose their controller player. So that's no smokes here towards the A site. Ethan can have an open field, and indeed he does. Gets the headshot onto BCJ, but now gets answered back. The wall comes up here on the attacker side. A second spots one towards screens. A 4-on-3 situation in favor of NRG as the plant comes down. But we have Heaven Control attended by Cryo. A bullet that lands in the head of Cryo, but it also gets a flank from Hayes. Now down to Aaron and Zekin, pinned inside the map. See, or should I say, a haunt towards the back. EU spotting one. Aaron on his own on a 1 versus 1. Oh, he turns around the corner a little bit too early, and EU gets the kill, and NRG get the round.
What a back and forth. He was like, don't worry, Hayes, I got you on the birthday present. Saves that round. Hayes goes down just before. Great flank from him, though, to catch CryoCells off guard, who was wreaking havoc on Heaven, so to not know if he was still Heaven or not helped NRG out figure out what they could also push. Nicely done to pick up that pistol, especially after the first map loss, right? They hadn't really found their footing there. It's all about not letting XSET get the second one, though.
XSET were looking like they wanted to group up before, but it seems to default more towards a mid-control setup. And that's going to be Death now moving forward from the sewer side, while this could potentially help. Oh, sorry, BCJ towards the sewers that could help Zekin get on the top of mid. As they go for jump peaks at the beginning, but it's just going to stay calm. We're just going to hear a bit of footsteps towards Ramen to start things off, and an orb once again being picked up by NRG.
Yeah, big focus there for Sam. Why not? We'll see how often he gets that. So that's just a dismiss. A bit of a smoke. You can see the pressure on B main, so they can keep A aware of what's going on and keep a little bit more audio towards what's happening in mid.
Spotted the knee of Zekin.
Spike is slow to move here. They just keep throwing delay smokes right now. Hayes waiting for that timer to come back up. Cryo's going to look for a peek with the headhunter here to see what he can toy with.
Yeah, and Tex is in a very important position, though, towards A main as well. So the Prowler spots one, but these guys are still holding their ground, so Tex relying on him for this kill. The body peek, easy headshot onto Zekin. Advantage for NRG. Players are moving forward as he goes for the jump peek. Gets away here from the fault line. A knife coming in. A beautiful flash as well that allows Tex to get 2 kills out of that. Aaron to the back of the site, though. That was well done by Ethan. Now EU swinging out, and Aaron's on his own. At least mission successful for XSET to get a plant into the second round to build the econ into their gun round. That was a clean hold now for NRG.
They need some statement rounds. That's how you start doing it. You know, Tex was like, oh, they're putting me up against CryoCells on the analyst desk. I got to do better. There it is, coming out with a few of those headhunters, Vans. Holy shnikes on these ones. Absolutely popped him. A little calibration bullet for the second one. And he is fine on that. NRG 2-0 now. Operator in the hands of Tex, already being 4-2. And he's one off a tour de force, so they can keep these power weapons in the hands of him. And moving them around the map to give XSET even more trouble. XSET on their gun round. Can NRG carry this bonus through?
That's right. Because an operator is actually quite strong into this round despite the lower weaponry for the rest. Getting the ult into the next round, and for the rest getting a gun round. It's still XSET having a white hill to fight in order to battle back here in this first half of Split. It starts off with them trying to just inch out here at mid side, using the smokes out from Def. He's playing this entry roll up on mid. coming head-to-head very soon against Ethan, but Ethan's just holding the angle instead on Staircase just to get his teammate ready with Som here with his judge.
Patience. Oh, my word. Reads a bit of push mid. Def, nicely done as well. Just dry peaks for the first 2 kills of this round. They are testing each other, Vance.
Wall comes up, and unfortunately, Zekins looking at the wrong angles. Hayes goes to work for 2.
One enemy remaining.
And he's you once again.
Spike down B.
Continues his spree from the first map, leaving Def on his own, only having 1 star available with the spike down. A 2 versus 1. Rope should have been heard, and it's being watched by EU, but there's a smoke that covers that for a bit.
30 seconds left.
Well, he's going to try to walk it out towards the A side, potentially. This is going to be a rough one, because that trademark is still there.
Running with a few stars here. Does use the Nebula on that one. He makes the run. Oh, he's going to hit it. No, knows already.
There you go.
There's
Off kill.
Tex. Tex is the operator. EU's Bulldog. I mean, come on. If they can keep the Econ from a chamber with Headhunter and just kind of folding over weapons like that and EU on a Bulldog all the time, you're going to have extra money. Like, there's just an extra level of the game that NRG are playing there now with weapons. XSET into a bit of a buy here, Vans. They are getting shut down pretty early on these hits. Like, not many plants we're seeing come down, and if they are, they're smothered immediately, and there isn't too much of a post-plant to defend.
This is actually a very interesting strat here by XSET to go for these buys. I think you just want to try to go really fast and try to go for the res play right after. The 3 of them are grouped up towards mid. Actually, Aaron's all the way back towards B side, so they're really not playing for any type of like aggression res. Just going to try to group up with whatever they have while Aaron's trying to play against this orb. One-way smoke now for Hayes.
Good.
They just have control of B garage so freely
all the
every
time.
single round for NRG.
Yep, great call. They really do, and they know if XSET's not there, right? It's free info too. You know, XSET can play the slow game to it, but NRG are still prepared with a one-way, even if the push does come through eventually. XSET back and forth. They take this control of where they got taken down last time from Ethan to make sure he's not creeping around. So it's going to be up to the C's here. Yep.
Prowler out. There's a C's dropping on the ground. Paint shell's coming out. Doesn't land because everybody else is dropping towards ropes anyways. Psalm's still able to get 2 kills with the Vandal. Ryle going to work with the Guardian though. A's still alive towards the back of the site. BCJ on the top. That res comes in right after from B main. Misses that battle. Actually gets traded out. He didn't win it against Aaron, but he gets traded out by BCJ. Now the advantage swings back in favor of XSET. Utility being used now by Ethan. A push towards the back. Almost a kill from Tex. Almost had that line up. One more towards the hell side.
Ethan?
And it's a 1 versus 1. Flash coming out. Rolling Thunder. Beautiful one by BCJ. That's going to run that clock down because he's not really in position to cover this spike. Ethan's going to go for the swing out, and that op shot coming in from BCJ after picking it up, and that buy that comes in from XSET pays off in fruition.
Wow, BCJ's movement there, the quick fault lines, the hits he used to be able to actually take a little bit more space in that tight moment. Really quick thinking. Absolutely awesome play by him. And XSET, we said it was an interesting buy. Well, they made it even more interesting by taking the damn round, Vans. Like, coming in with Guardians and Sheriffs to NRG's quick 3. They put a stop to it, and now we come into round 5 at 3-1.
This time solo play towards B garage. Potentially once again from Hayes. Now I like the little change coming in though. They actually have a star towards B main this time, so they can try to fight that back in the future.
Ouch.
I think Tex was just he doesn't mind eating that damage because he could always swing out for a shot and TP away.
Yep.
But yeah, trying to play the boom bot into his favor, but nobody peeked out there unfortunately for XSET. They're moving in towards A.
Oof. Holding, waiting. EU on the call. They're a nice prowler out. We'll hold for now. As the Nightfall follows, they push that in.
Fortunately, the showstopper is still a little bit too far, but that Nightfall is going to give a lot of info. Unfortunately, though, for Ethan, okay, at least he's able to get down 1. He pops out his ult. He's still able to get saved. Oh, no, Tex. A little bit of miscommunication coming in from NRG. Easy kill, free kill actually coming from the back of the site of Zekin all the way up towards heaven. Especially when there was no stars that popped up from that null command coming out from Ethan. Not a round that should have went in favor here of XSET, but EU has something to say.
Gosh,
he comes
EU.
back for the save. That's 2 kills down. And that's also the spike with 20 seconds left. Crowd trying to save the round back in his favor. Upshot kill, the swing out from Som with the trade, and now it's all up to Zekin. Showstopper in hand and available. Som also has his. He gets paranoid.
Wait. What?
He hears the footsteps around the corner, pulls on his own, but then there we go. Rocket Arena from the back, and NRG get the round.
Oh my god, that just became a terrifying horror story for a second. I didn't know where he was going, what he was doing, but what a right move. Well paranoid, almost gets the back of the side of NRG. Great movement here, but NRG having the upper hand, taking that win back. EU as well has just been so on point, carrying this firepower from game to game here on Fade. Fades away on that shot, but yeah, this... Oh, it's just the edge too! He had the right play. Interesting stuff. 4-1. We get into our next round here.
Now it's time to refocus here with this timeout for XSET, because I'm pretty sure on that previous round, Cryocells also used his dual defaults on his ult. Now it's trying to figure out how we build out the economy, build back the control towards this B side, because these orbs continue to come out freely on a B side for NRG.
See if they get another one. I think this is more of a how can we prevent things from happening right now, right? Figure out where we can take space, but also prevent that B main maybe from happening right away. They aren't positioned to really make that happen at the moment, but I feel like at least getting Som off of that, stopping what NRG have on their plate right off the bat and making them do something else.
They have util for that. They have the fault line, they have paint shells, aftershock, slow orbs, stars, boombot, flashes. I mean, they have everything to cover B-side, but it's just given away every single time. I mean, maybe they just don't want to have that focus into the early mid to be splits. They just really want to try to take control at the beginning.
Good hit.
This time, off this timeout, though, they're trying to work towards A, and that 0 point spots 3 players.
Spikes down. They're working it slow. We have to consider that they've crossed already on this. The trademark, we'll see them in the Prowler. Getting great information here. NRG just inside the heads of XSET to start. Obviously going to be a little bit of a reset here where XSET stop moving. See if NRG will push.
Yeah, I think they're just going to try to take this this trademark, break it, and meet back towards mid-side. Because BCJ is already moving back to pick up the spike. There's that trademark that gets broken. That allows here Def to try to creep up for a bit, but he's going to try to go for a close range entry with a Guardian. It's going to be very interesting here. I like this, actually. From the call from the Moonbot, now they know that Som's towards the B side still. So BCJ is walking back towards the A side, and he could actually pinch numbers into A, because there was actually nothing happening for NRG towards this A site.
30 seconds
NRG
left.
are actually playing turtled in.
BCJ setting up the hit back sight. Flash comes through on one side. He's going to be the last after Zekin gets in. Zekin with the nade. BCJ still hasn't been able to enter just yet, though. There he goes.
Some flight stuff going on there from Zekin, as that didn't allow Ethan to actually get any type of reaction time to get the swan off the air. That's a plant coming now for XSET. Texan Hayes.
One enemy remaining.
Don't really have that much economy to work with, though, so this is a very dangerous retake they're trying to do.
You gotta love those plays from Arrays. It's kind of like the priority of fly first, kill second, because you're about to draw the attention of everybody that is holding a hard angle in sight, allowing your team to waterfall in after you, right? We saw all of XSET just pouring in after Zekin went through. BCJ flashing back sight to make sure the screen was covered.
Yeah,
so really nicely executed. And as you called before, after working up, they kill the trademark, wait the round out a little bit, with also some in mid, as you said, right? It looked like they could go back if they wanted to, but were able to just pour right over into A heaven. Another round for XSET there. Really well played out. They kind of just picked apart NRG as the round went on.
Yeah. Seeing the value of potentially even the Astra. If it wasn't a fault line, there was definitely something there that stunned the player in the back of the side to get owned by Zekin's paint shells, and that potentially could have been a Nova Pulse from Def too. That said, though, it was a round that was needed here for XSET. They're able to muster up a second round out of 6, which is not too bad. Still another half to play in this first half. Still a chance to make this a close game. And while for NRG, they're just looking to reassess this round. A couple of stars that they see early into the round. This is actually new from XSET. We don't see these pre-placed stars from Death in the beginning of these rounds.
Recovering it.
How much do they play off of these? You hear the Boomba still flying around up there in mail. Nobody wants to get caught by that to give anything away this early. They actually just saw one.
He rifle, by the way, for Tex, while the rest of NRG are on pistols.
Tex is rich. Oof. Well, he's going to have to be rich. Goes down immediately on that one. You can see Hayes actually has quite a bit of credit as well. They're just going for this to kind of fold over more rounds. I feel like they get 2 buys out of this if possible, or even a drop necessary as we see XSET rotate over now. Trademark's going to be covering their full flank on the right side. And they are going to be committing. This is one of the first committals we get to be that's actually going to have a majority going through B main. A lot of heaven play and mid play or just to A has been what XSET is focused on.
Hayes, instead of going for a one-way smoke, smokes himself out with a Sharon close range, and he still gets the first headshot onto Aaron, but he gets immediately traded off. Here comes the classic from EU, but does not come up with a kill onto Zekin. This allows now XSET to get the easy plant, and it's a safe plant. So not really for B main. You're going to have to stay in sight on the 4v2. Thankfully, they're playing against pistols, so they could actually stay in sight. Zon now spawn on the top. Wall banged for a bit, dodging all these bullets. Yeah, Death's on the backstab.
One enemy remaining.
Last one will probably be from spawn side, and that's confirmed as Ethan gets the kill. Now XSET, they convert another round.
Yeah. Another nice clean round, right? Guns or not, on the side of NRG, XSET kind of played the same thing. You push towards the site, make some noise, position yourself to take, and then take it as if NRG had guns. They were methodical there. They still, as we saw, left Def on that flank to make sure they could get anybody that could cause problems. And now we get back into that gun round. We can see that NRG did have some cash. We're into that operator. There's going to be some on low armor as well here. We'll see how they play through this. XSET looking to bring it back in their favor. Ultimates are about halfway for most of the teams, so it'll be interesting to see if one of those changes around.
Still, no way of fighting back. Only slow orbs not going to do much. Inching out here towards the A site. Tex wins that duel against Cryo.
Okay.
Fault line to allow Zekin to move up. We've already TP'd away.
A much different story in our Tex versus Cryo cells this game. That's for sure. And while the desk mentioned it wasn't really a 1v1 for the first game, it was what they were providing elsewhere on the map. It does seem that they have found each other one time after another. Almost nice flash coming through, giving BCJ a little bit of room. Oh, he holds it! Just squatting in the middle, takes down Tex.
Now wall out towards spawn side. Allows BCJ to get inside the site and plant for a heaven. So we do have Aaron and also Def that's setting up the crossfire there. The knife, though, actually spots one. They don't really know if Def is playing towards A ramp or towards ropes, but they could actually start clearing that out here for the defender side of NRG. Zekin with the support. He's going to be the first contact that allows the swing out from Aaron. Molly comes out from Ethan, and he's going towards spawn side. That could
see Aftershock
the
come
focus. Aaron, oh yeah, out from the screens. Aaron on the top. Nice kill from Ethan, and Hayes are slowly doing down the numbers of the post-plant numbers for XSET. Again, still planning for heaven. BCJ wins that duel, and there's only one left to go.
Wow.
BCJ from the backstab onto Hayes, and we're tied up 4-4.
Really not giving NRG a chance to get back in. You saw, I mean, you had Aaron sitting up top the whole time where nobody actually exited heaven, but they were just eating BCJ utility on that right side as they were trying to come through screens too. So what trouble the XSET was giving NRG on that play. And now NRG are finally pushed down a bit onto those pistols. They're going to go for a bit of a sheriff and half armor buy. Ecos have had their place in this series, Vance. We'll see if NRG can do it again, as you said before.
Exactly. It's especially NRG. And that starts with a star on mid side, and that could put a wrench into the plans of NRG here, but it's a recall instead. Boombot to try to get some info now towards the bottom mid. And that forces NRG to fall back, so XSET's just using that timing to regain that space.
They finally pushed the one-way vans. The B is controlled by XSET. Only took 9 rounds, but they are in there. Nicely done, and that's going to be Aaron on a very big play. The rest of B is going to be a little bit discombobulated here as they put their power together over towards A and see if they can get somewhat of a retake or at least damage on the way in or out.
Yeah, the gamble stack. After getting the boom bot and not getting information towards mid and a 0 point only spotting one player towards B side, they thought it was still Aaron watching that flank, watching that push, and everybody else working towards the A side.
Yep.
So gamble stack doesn't work out here for NRG as now they're looking for the kills instead with the pistols, and it works out.
Saucy.
A couple of bullets here coming into the headshot on depth. Cryo cells just aim map it. And that's it.
There it is. Preventing the damage was the goal. Squeak. Ooh, nice. Actually didn't think he was going to fit through that. Pushing down the ponytail. So we come into round 10. The money continues to fluctuate a little bit now for NRG. They're back into the buy phase for themselves. Tex is going to go for the operator 2 off his ult. They have null command where they can kind of do an instant shutdown of what XSET has. Zekin's ready, so you can bet your bottom dollar Ethan's going to be looking to be able to get around that. We'll see how XSET avoid it. How can they get into the site quick? It looks like they may want A to start, but there's no real committal for their spike right now. That's in the hands of BCJ.
Playing the wall bangs to just try to prevent NRG from pushing forward to start things off. They break the boom bot or XSET.
They fault line through as well towards A just to kind of give a bit of attention towards possibly one in the ramp area.
Nice kill from Cryo.
Word.
You saw the rotate coming in from Def at some, or BCJ, sorry, at some point. It was getting ready to flash across if we needed to. But it's going to be a Rolling Thunder instead for Heaven so that Zekin can move in with the showstopper. Nightfall coming out from the defense and a 0 point to cancel out some utility. And now Prowler close range. EU trying to fight. BCJ getting the frag onto Hayes inside garage. Woo! Ethan going to work for the bottom of the site. Goes for the 180, but BCJ trades it out. EU now in Tex on a 2 versus 3. Spawning 2 players crossing over. Just trying to run that clock down so that at least hold the angle so that Tex can rotate. This is going to be such a late lurk by Cryocells on mid.
Sees out. Who does get... Oh, that's big. But is that big enough for Cryo? Because that's obviously going to draw the attention of NRG, EU, and Tex. A little bit of that play game. Some tricks coming out. Nicely done by the squad. NRG 4-6 now is XSET. We saw what happened the first time they pulled away in game 1. XSET does not give up after they get a bit of a lead. Let's see if NRG can turn this around after a timeout.
That was a great flash there from BCJ. Blinding the last 2 players to allow Cryocells to get that flank, and I keep saying I see a breach in XSET. I'm like automatically Def because he's been going with that switch, and BCJ because of that actually it's a good moment to actually praise BCJ on the deeper agent pool and the initiators that he's currently playing for the team, because we talked about it. It's all about having Cryocells and Zekin, the young fraggers coming in with the chamber, and now the second duelist with Zekin. And then having the rest of the support crew coming in. And that's BCJ really helping out now to flash and assist when that used to be Zekin's role.
And the thing is even on the Sova or now on the Breach, he still has a play style that kind of feels like a duelist sometimes. He uses his own utility in very close quarter situations to come up with 2Ks, 3Ks. It doesn't, you know, you're still on the edge of your seat when he's in those clutch situations. Definitely has the mind to play around his opponents. For the most part, we'll see what he can continue to do. 10-4, so I'd say he's doing pretty good this game as well. 11-7 for Cryocells on top here, and they're fighting against Ethan and Tex right now. Actually, everybody's having a good game on both teams, and considering we'll see these ults about to come back online to make a difference for these last 2 rounds.
There you go. That's what we wanted. Slow orbs, utility, the Nova Pulse, or even the Gravity Well, sorry, that came out to cover this B side. The flash and the satchels inside the site. Paint shells blocked by the wall from Sage. Oh, look at all this util coming out from both ends. And it's still going to be the aftershock onto Sam.
Oh my word.
Trying to get the judge across here from this wall. Crowcell gets the kill onto Hayes. EU's just hoping that somebody breaks the wall and tries to push forward. There he goes. Ethan's going to break it for him. And 4 players are playing all the way back inside that site. That 0 point even spot. All right, sorry, it's a null command. Comes out. Molly, EU watching her rotate back towards B garage, but for him, he doesn't know anybody that rotated back or not. And look at this flank coming in from Defto. Coming in from the spawn side at A. Elysiu gets 2 kills with the judge from the top.
see him.
That does get the kill onto Ethan.
Last player standing.
No!
Back. Oh man, EU's going to work so far, but now he gets fault line and VCJ finally stops his screen. That's XSET 7-4.
Takes an army to stop this guy, and it did from XSET. You're like, oh, he has a judge. He's going to get hit from heaven. Nah, he pulls out the pistol here. XSET, but taking their time to get in, and smartly so, making sure they don't get swarmed.
I didn't see that TP from Hayes. That was...
Yeah. Everything was happening. Like you said, everything was happening so fast.
Yeah.
I don't think most of us did. My eyes caught the Prowler that actually, or a C's that rather, went up top and kind of missed due to just the chaos, the blinds, everything happening, and people trying to get that util out. So you can see just how chaotic it really was. Last round of our first half here, map 2. XSET feeling good on this split pick now.
This battle in mid. Tech still lands the shot onto Cryo, and he TP's back towards the A site where there is support inside the anchors. Crossfire set up on Energy, but they lose 1 player in the way.
my
but
gosh.
EU and Som, they're just going to work. This works out. Everybody gets dropped by XSET by the blink of an eye. And now let's go for the break, and when we come back, let's see this second half. Things looking good for Energy to start off that half on split, converting the bonus round, but after that, XSET coming back from a timeout. Regain composure and take the lead now as they take the defender half. 7-5 in the lead as NRG now on pistol round on the attack. Looking to split back here on this B site to hopefully win this, tie it up, and bring it to a third map.
Over the top. Be taken out. We can see the util usage of Fade here. Oh, Hayes can knock it out in time, even with that buff on the Oven speed. And a quick hit. Som here starting in B as we saw before. It looks like a little bit of a push from XSET. What a hit.
Yeah, it's going to be annoying to deal with right now for Energy because now they lose their smokes, but at least there's no util left for Sage. Aaron was forced to use it all early into the round, and just like that, they turn it over. B main and B heaven battles in favor of Energy. But at least they're all weakened down. Def could actually go to work right here. Lines up 2, gets traded out by Ethan. Cryo cells. Star player here with 1 shot needed on both ends. Spike coming down. Misses a couple of shots, and he couldn't miss those. The trade comes in for Energy and to save the pistol round.
The collats we've been getting lately, just like, not like the craziness of them, just the amount of collats. My word, you think a round could be going one way, and then in a split second, the instant you think that, it changes. That one's going to go in favor of Energy. Nicely played throughout. We'll see what they can continue on this round is 6-7. It's a 0 point go in Vance. Woo! All the way up. We'll see where that lands on the mini map. Actually, nice catch. So the entirety, if they're hiding in that zone of rope, even towards a little bit a heaven. Doesn't really give him too much of mid though. You already see BCJ retook that space. He's going to get almost prowlered out here. He does have to take it, and he gets vision on 1.
Now, XSET seems to be gambling to move back towards the A site. This is nothing but a default now for Energy still.
Yeah.
You're not really going to press anywhere until these 3 players gain a little bit more map control. Trying to figure out where the rest of the utility is here for XSET, but they can't really find anything yet. Just time to make some noise. So these guys are making noise inside the vents while we actually do have Tex inside the B site.
Yeah,
so they'll realize very soon it's going to be an open B site. They'll fall back, get the easy plant, and next set will be forced to go for the retake.
Re-prowl around that B heaven too. Clean play by Energy here. Just again sourcing out the map and figuring what would be the easiest play. Maybe not losing too much armor on this as well. So a big economy round for them. And not too much buy for XSET as well. You probably see XSET doing a lot more this round if they were going to be putting a bit more of investment in. See if the Sheriff here can do anything for Def.
Cover going out.
Speaking. Still gets a kill though. Hayes looking for the second one. Works out and a hat trick. Avoiding the fault line. Som is going going to win his own duel. Things are looking very good here for NRG to convert their pistol round into the second one here.
He's going to have to run out. I just want to see how this happens.
Just him dying by haze, pretty much. Aaron's going to have a shorty.
Give him the 4K.
There you go.
Woo, happy birthday. The Eco 4K. We be farming out here. Hazed is one of them. 7-7 now as they pick up that second round. Flawless by Prime Gaming. I thought the smoke might give him up for a second. It did. Cryo was like, wait a minute. And then, yeah, it was just the happenstance of utility being used one by one. The clean up there. And now we will see what XSET has coming into this next round. No ultimates just considered yet. We are going to have some weapons. Push up towards B main, possibly. Is there going to be a fault line with a push up here? Looked like they tried to see what was going on. So, fault line towards B main to start for XSET. See if they could get a read on what NRG's trying to do. And a bit of rush towards sewers right now.
And then 0 point clearing out towards ropes, towards the top mid side. Forcing XSET to rotate out and trying to stack towards B. So playing a little bit more passively. And NRG are deciding to work towards the A site. Like this angle now from Cryo Cells, that it's usually not checked, but when it is, he's still able to escape with the TP, so rendezvous. There you go. Jeff now in the back of screens, pushed back by fragments from Ethan. As they're moving up here towards the A side ramp on their bonus round. 0 point lands right into Zekin, who manages to come out and just hit the knife.
The run back, coast to coast. We have to going to leave Fade here. EU's going to do what he can on anybody peeking. Prowler's up. This is going to be tough. Will they have Ethan 0 point by the time they get back? They really don't have too much for the site except for what?
Left.
Oh, the smoke over towards A. They're trying to still give an idea that they want to hit A, and it's caught some people of XSET to stay. What a play by NRG.
BCJ still hesitating here, trying to figure out if he, okay, he's looking a fault line towards heaven so that Aaron could get control there. And now that Aaron actually made control instead, he's going to fault line into default. Aftershock to come out. Spike at least gets planted.
Ethan didn't have to move. Just kind of squeaked his cheek over and he was good to go. EU's going to be coming in here with the flank now. It's always been somebody on that flank.
Sometimes two of them. And Ethan's at pillar. A little bit of damage. The flash is coming out. Zekin gets the first frag. Backstab has to come out soon. Now back on EU. Moving in right now on that tap. Forcing Zon to move forward to get the kill onto 2. Looking back on the 180. It's up to a 1 versus 1. Zekin with only 4 HP. Nade underground that lands onto Hayes. And that's an ace coming in for NRG. Or should I say for XSET as they take the lead in this second half.
XSET with a lot of energy on that one. Oh my word. Zakin with the ace. Brings himself up to the top 16 and 11. Ultimate ready as well to defend, to set up even more. What a play there at the end. Chaos in the site ensues. You can see Sam playing a really great little back and forth cat and mouse there, eventually taken down, but it goes to Zekin. The great play goes to Zekin on that one. Nicely done. And XSET pull it to 8-7 now here, as NRG had a pretty good run around on XSET for that site.
Still a low buy now for XSET. Judge,
yeah.
Spectres, 2 rifles only. That's a lot of gunshots. So that's 3 players playing towards mid. That's going to get hurt by XSET. Little they know there is actually 4 players moving on forward for NRG here. Boombot to clear out towards the top mid. Again, it's a hold to potentially allow potentially allow Tex to try to get an opener here towards B main side.
Now I'm trying to look at what Breeze has for these two teams because it's getting closer and closer, Vans. This series could easily be NRG pulling back the next few. They're going to try to prove that here with a push towards B heaven. Oh my gosh.
1 left. 3 versus 1. Rez comes out as the null command was trying to allow NRG to move up towards the B heaven side. It works out for a trade at least onto Def that was playing towards B main.
Yeah.
With those players that fell down towards the top of B heaven, that's weapons upgraded for XSET 2. But Spike is down. 23 seconds left on the clock. I think they heard the rotate toward. Yeah, you have to make noise at this point because there's no time left. Nice job by BCJ to run that clock down. X moving up on the ropes.
Did get him. A few more for XSET. They had a 2-round lead before. NRG pulled it back a little bit. It was helpful from their pistol rounds this time, but XSET seems to be in the late game here of both maps of the series, starting to control, starting to get just a hold on the game itself. And I don't really think NRG is finding themselves being deflated at all this time, like we saw on Bind, where it just seemed like they weren't able to trade enough off each other. Here, I think XSET's doing a great job of working the map, being able to get back into position that is going to be able to win them the round, but mostly taking those rotations safely. So the positioning of NRG isn't catching them off guard, because that's a lot of their positioning. They're already in mid. NRG has 3.
Very nice here from XSET, knowing that the economy's low for energy. You can go for an early wall and just stick on to picking up the orb. It was, if anything, it was going to be pistols trying to break the wall, or they're going to hear the specters and could fall back, but if not. A safe orb picked up, building up his ult. Gonna get closer and closer to the res. Meanwhile, this mid control is definitely happening for NRG, but it's pretty much given away freely by XSET because they just want to play more stacked up towards the heaven sides. Flash out from BCJ.
Great gravity.
And it slows him down for a little bit more, forcing now the hand of NRG to move up towards the A site. Null come in, or should I say, sorry, a 0 point, then a Nightfall, but Zekin's still up there. As he gets deafened, Som's able to move out for the swing with the headshot.
Oh. Som's coming through. Train's on the tracks. Don't get caught. Quickfire, they know where he is. Double teamed on elbow there. Oh my word,
He had that kill. He stopped shooting to move up towards the heaven side, and that's now BCJ on his own. 2 players very low. And BCJ still has a flash to work with.
Spike planted.
You talked about a potential breach that could use his own utility. He almost played like a duelist. Let's see if this is going to happen here, Riv.
Let's see what we get. More bullets out of the chamber already.
No money to work with, and he's still gambling here for the first headshot onto EU. But now, with only 21 HP remaining, yep, you're definitely going back to save. This is going to be a nice round for NRG.
The saves come through. NRG, again, keep it within 2. They'll pull one back for themselves here, and a nice job as well by making sure this strategy had a bit of cross-map play as well. Right? We had a bit of B main pressure. The lot hit there. A smoke early came out from Hayes that guarded the stairs of B main to kind of put maybe XSET off position of what they were holding on that catwalk and mail area. So really just trying to fluster what XSET's initial setup is. And then they were able to take it onto the A site. So NRG now trying to work a bit of both sites or give XSET a fake to think about here to make sure they can get these rounds back.
Technical coming out now. We'll have a chance to digest a little bit what's been going on this whole map on split here, Riv. At least from the second half. We talked about how XSET from a timeout from the first was able to do quite well here to take the lead into the second half. But now NRG's been doing a good job battling back their attacker side.
They have. You actually see if the pistols have been in their favor a little bit. It's definitely a little better than last map. And then, as I said, XSET starts to get the middle of the round, the map, later half, as things go on. That's what NRG needs to prevent. And we saw them stop that already now. Can they get round 18, 19? Because those were pushing into the site. As you can see, Spike went off, and we had to have BCJ save. So while XSET was almost prepared to stop them, NRG still overwhelmed, and they still got the site. So if they can do more of these fakes, where they're getting XSET to be off of the site, it seems like NRG's post plant with this squad is really strong, and that's where they've been getting the rounds.
Yeah, and star players, usually when we see, you know, early, again, in stage 1, Som was definitely like a person that was popping off, a player that was popping off as a jet.
Yeah.
We all know the highlight reels of what they were able to do before the roster change between Ethan and Android, where he was just going with Blade Storms and dropping off everybody on Breeze, which, by the way, would be the third map coming in if needed be.
Yeah.
But EU is definitely the one that's been shining for me on the NRG side for the first 2 maps.
It's been with quite a bit, too. When he has to be put down on the Bulldog, we've seen the 3Ks. When it's just him in a 2v1, he's coming up, getting the job done. it has been some pretty immaculate play from him coming through. And we talked about it earlier, you know, the addition of Ethan around the middle of April seems to unlock this team a little bit more, to have flavor, to have a little bit more get up and go in some situations. And it seems like EU is one of the proponents of that himself, you know? Monkey do, monkey see. So, or monkey see, monkey do, rather. So, in that sense, NRG has been following suit, and everybody we see fragging throughout this game as they push up against Cryocells, BCJ, and Zekin, who are just having a hell of a one right now, trying to keep them down.
We've talked about that as well for Zekin, definitely. And I think it's also how Zekin's been looking good under Ray's mobility, I think. The satchel charges to gain space has been actually really nice. I think he's getting like the most, if I'm going to nerd out, like when I was looking from other games, like the amount of units that you get from the speed that you're moving forward, depending on what utility you're using. He's getting the maximum speed, man. He's moving quite fast, and it shows that he's putting the amount of time inside the server.
Yeah, maximum speed. It's interesting to see how I think even, I'd say last Masters and a little bit before that, we saw a lot more Raze players feeling like they could go forward, refining their blast pack movement. It's such a min-max thing you can do, right? Understanding how to really get into somebody's face. We've seen it a bit from Sam and Zek in this game. But yeah, it's just, it brings such, that tech brings such a different level of gameplay when a teammate has it. When you can basically make an opponent think they have to stay back because a blast pack scenario is possible. So it's really cool to see that. I like to bring that point up.
You have a really good stalemate between both of these teams, I find, with the agent comps that they have on the defender side, because there's a little bit of different ways that you play the defender side based on these comps. I mean, you saw it from NRG's side. It's the one-way smokes being used by Hayes to cover towards the B side. But then for XSET, it's all about stopping the aggressive pushes, especially when you have somebody that can come in with a Nightfall, and then you're coming in with 0 points, and then mollies, and then paranoias. Being able to get those stars onto the ground, but on top of that, not only the Astro utility, but the fault lines from Breach is going to help out a lot to prevent these pushes from coming in here from NRG. So it's still a very tough half for NRG to get the ball rolling here on their attacker side, but we talked about it. They're starting to figure it out a little bit more. BCJ forced on a save at this point. Be interesting to know what the economy is going to be like here for XSET, looking at the history of these rounds and forcing BCJ on a save. Hopefully they could use that weapon into the next with potentially another small mixed buy coming in, which has been successful for XSET for what, the 2 times that they've done it on this map so far?
Yeah, for sure. And other thing some things I was looking at as well, just the compositions in general, Vans. I think it's interesting that we have NRG kind of focusing info game, right? You have the ability to 0 point, use fade, and whereas XSET is more favoring the ability to displace you, set up a situation that'll make you uncomfortable and take it as a team together. There isn't really much find where somebody is on that squad of XSET. It's all due to the players moving forward and playing together. So I'd say a little bit harder to execute for that side of XSET. Cool to see as well. And that doesn't say NRG is not hard to execute. It's not at all. Just looking at that composition and what they are able to provide on a retake is cool to see how they put it together.
So thanks for tuning in to our TED Talk. That is going to end the segment as we could actually resume the game between XSET and NRG. NRG back in the lead, as we mentioned before, by 1. And that weapon saved here from BCJ allows for the rest of the team to still go for a rifle buy and an ultimate by Cryo to bring out the, I'll say it with the accent in English this time, tour de force.
Oh, hey. That sounded great. Again, over the top.
I have to appease the masses here in chat.
Actually, that one hits. That Haunts actually gets its way over. Zekin's in, and the defense begins. Oh my word. Aaron just hiding in hell.
Tags coming up from the Heaven side with 2 kills. Spike now down inside the site, though. EU and Tex. 2 fraggers for the team are making it work for a bit. And EU lines up the 2 to tie up the game at 9-9.
What did I say about collats? That was like a microsecond collat, so kind of a not really, but yes. But oh my word, you have to be quick in these rounds. The teams are reading each other. They're there. Basically, everybody was here. Look at the map, the mini map. As this goes down, everybody is on that map. Is on that point of the map. Yeah. Oh my God, these guys are just putting the pressure on from both sides. 9-9 here. Vans XSET looking to carry 4 more and find themselves a victory here. It's a long way to go if you think about it. We go round for round, and I think that might just happen. Up the ramp we go.
Nice shot by Cryo though. Chamber diff into this round. Up the top, Sheriff putting Som down to 26 HP, pushing BCJ away with the boombot. As of course you see it now.
Okay,
XSET on an eco. Nice shot by Death towards the back of the site. Oh my God, even a showstopper. It's looking good for XSET on their own eco now. As Elisa Spice still up on the back of Hayes, he could still TP away if he wants to, but that will leave EU kind of on his own. And you can kind of trust EU so far with what he could do.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. That's their first headshot.
Not even faked out by the Roomba. Says, nope. I'll see the head first.
We're just trying to run this clock down for XSET, hoping that this flank could happen from BCJ. All the way up from Heaven's side to start things off on the A site. And about to get
3
the perfect
headshots.
timing onto EU. Picks up even has time to pick up a Phantom on top of that. Now Hayes is on his own.
Smooth.
Gonna have to clear out 50-50.
Thrifty.
Doesn't work out. The Stinger close range as a Thrifty comes in for XSET. And this should put NRG back into low economy. Maybe for 2 players. The rest are gonna be okay.
Tech still has headhunter money.
Yeah, well, I mean, he already has money, period. So he could buy a rifle here for EU and go for the ult on his side.
Low armor for him? No. He's just gonna. Yeah, he was considering it. He's like, well, can we extend this money next round? It's super interesting. Maybe even purchase another weapon if they could. They said no. Ethan will stay on low armor.
You want to play?
We'll
Let's
hopefully
play.
push speed towards mid. Tour de Force is out. Cryocells has an operator, so we have both of those long guns looking for each other on the map. In almost the same spot. Oh, it's a death ball mid here from NRG. We have not really seen this yet, and Hayes is going to peel off for now with Som.
I even like this. We have one off on one end, and Texas just posted, waiting for Cryo to peek out. I thought he had it.
The moment of action.
I felt like maybe the kill was too easy, that it just caught him off guard, and he just couldn't react on that frag against Cryocells. And just like that, NRG lose 3 players.
Enemy remaining.
Cryocell
Spike down B.
makes it more difficult here for Som to try to clutch in. Him jumping around. Oh, what a swing there onto Cryo.
I think he
Players
clicked or
down,
didn't
Angels
click.
on the top.
It looked like his gun shot, but he didn't. I see this nade.
Combination there. Satchel charge to push away. Now
that
he
money.
can actually go for the. Oh my God!
Oh,
There's just
dear.
so much utility still, and they get a res on top of that. The respect. Som is gonna have to go for a 6K here.
30 seconds left.
Third attempt, maybe a charm to go for a spike plant, and here
You're
it
gonna
is.
give him the room.
Here's the footsteps, at least, of 1 onto the B heaven side. And even the flash confirms that it's the breach on the top. And look at that, even a rolling thunder.
Oh
now
my
he's hit by that, and
word.
BCJ stops him.
That round for XSET happens on something I like to call just the moment of action, right? Once a frag happens, it triggers your teammate to also peek. And that's what we got out of Cryocells as soon as BCJ found that first kill. It was just a moment of action, a moment where your opponent may be checking the top right of the screen, maybe looking at the minimap because action happened somewhere else. So I think XSET takes a bit of an advantage of that one there. Quick peeks one after the other. NRG now into a timeout here to see if they can get some more rounds back to put the pressure on XSET because they are very close to closing out this series.
It's a good moment for it, too. Knowing now that they've wasted out a lot of the utility from XSET, this is a good opportunity to try to play for the overtime if you can.
Absolutely. How can we make it happen? Right, we saw Tex have that economy, so maybe they fold out a few more guns here if they can make it happen. But right now, XSET's the defense they're putting up. It seems like they are the reads. I don't think we mentioned that enough. They had 5 people almost at the same site the last 2 rounds, right? Everybody's almost there immediately. That one we saw that BCJ and Cryocells get some kills and they can easily put themselves where they need to be for the finisher on that. But yeah, XSET just seemed to have the number of energy right now. We'll see a push into Spectres.
Okay.
Looks like it.
We're buying for the win here for NRG. So 2
Absolutely.
Spectres, 2 Phantoms, EU.
Snuff them out.
Going with the small shield and a Vandal. And they're just looking for a bust out into this B site. Crowcell now spotted. Oh, nice. His teammate actually breaks the boom bot, so he could still be in a very forward position with this operator. 0 points going to spot Som. Flash the peek in. Misses the shot and force a TP back on the top of Heaven. And he's even going to reposition to look back towards the main side.
NRG have they stopped kind of doing a bit of a split and hit. Remember, we had Haze some rounds doing a Heaven smokes or B smokes, and they're hitting different sites. The beginning of these have put all 5 in one position, and then they have 2 peel off. I wonder if this is to take an initial fight, have the resources they need, and then get the rest of what, because otherwise you have to retake every single part of the map when you play 5 like this. It becomes very dangerous, especially at this point in the game when you want somewhat of an upper hand. So here they're betting everything on just being in one spot. Trademark's moved, it's put right behind them. Forward is basically the only way they're going to go on this with 40 seconds left, fans.
0 point just got thrown on towards the mid side. It's going to be an all-out push with the Nightfall, potentially even an ult command. And the shot still comes in from Cryo on the back of the site.
Oh,
That's the second
Cryo.
one here with the ult down, but it still
No
nullifies
way!
others, and he goes for the third
He's
kill.
deaf!
That now, Cosmic Divide comes out onto defense, and that is just going to have the last 3 players save. I like it. Put the last person up, save your weapons, and now play for the OT. Cryo's going to work.
The calls
10
from his
seconds
team, though, with him not being really able to hear anything around him, chef's kiss. Because we definitely didn't hear Haze land on Catwalk with his ultimate there, did we? So,
That's true.
yeah, Cryo just on point with that one. My word, 12-9 game point XSET.
Match point. Face your fear.
Holy moly. He was just swarmed for a moment here, Vans.
30 seconds left.
I just wanted it to let it play out to see the beauty of the movements that he had there and the confidence of
There.
just fragging out on that B main hold.
Yeah.
And now,
Wow.
all your eggs in a basket here for NRG. All of those ults depleted, having only the showstopper to work with. And they're just not looking for a surprise attack here for NRG, going back into a default into this round.
Yeah, look at that, like you said, default this time. Get more control over the map. They push Cryo cells off the initial position. So just fundamental check marks to start this round off. They get a bit of control. I don't think XSET. Actually, Zekin was seen there. No.
This is a big kill.
Oh!
I didn't get spotted by Som. Well done.
A double peek. Nice job, yeah.
That was actually a kill onto Som that was showstopper down, and that was the window of opportunity really shut down at this point. Now another drop being heard. A boost coming in from Aaron, and he stops it right there. And yeah, I talked about the showstopper. It's gone. The rest here of NRG are moving up for control at A Heaven side.
We have to re-clear this trademark. Oh, no, they won't. That wall's up. So actually, this plays in their favor. Just a little bit here. No one's elbow. What a good pinch here. This could be a round for NRG with positioning, but the
30
angles.
seconds left.
Oh, Def.
Commented on EU's great play, but at that moment doesn't check
Here
the
it
corner.
is.
At least Ethan's trying to keep the dream alive. A plant for Heaven as Tex is looking to fight back in this area where both players of XSET are at. Big flash that allows the peek from Tex. The dink, unfortunately, does not get the kill onto Cryocells. So now they both have to play inside sight. Spots BCJ. Fault line coming out towards the elbow. Ethan in the back of the site. Playing contact off Tex. The swing then comes out and BCJ wins the fight. Last one is stuck.
Oh my
By
gosh.
Cryocells. He's going to come in for the fuse, and XSET will win the series 2-0.
Padlocks ready on that one. You thought the gate was open? No, the gate was closed. The gatekeeper is finding success here as they continue to move up in their group. What a game by XSET here. And it did seem to, again, come down to a bit of what happened towards the later rounds of each map, Vans. They seemed to get control. They had a better read on things that were happening. They take NRG on their own map, and XSET take their own pick.